Hi everyone, my name is Kendrick and welcome to Travel and Live Free. In this video, we're going to cover my country number 45 to visit every single country in the world. In that country, it's Switzerland. I have really mixed feelings whenever I travel to Switzerland. Switzerland is one of those European countries that I've transited to and traveled to several times already in my entire life. The first time I went to Switzerland, I was actually in the airport and I was treated pretty poorly by the people working in the airport, and I just felt that passive-aggressive racism towards Asians when I was traveling in the Zurich airport. So when I went back again in Switzerland, this time by bus, going from Bratislava to Austria and then from Austria to Switzerland, I was a little bit apprehensive because I wasn't sure if I was going to be treated with racism just like the first time I transited through the Zurich airport. My youngest sister has a best friend that lives in Switzerland, and she ended up marrying a Swiss guy and they live together in a city called Windisch. So basically during my one-year trip, I ended up visiting them for a week and I went to Windisch where my sister's friend picked me up from the train station and we walked all the way back to their place, and I had a very nice, pleasant 1 week hanging out with them. I used my time there as a pit stop to just rest because I was so exhausted from backpacking. I was go, and I haven't had a time to just sit down and live a normal life. I think that's one of the downside when you go backpacking for so long, is sometimes you just miss lounging around and doing nothing. So for that 1 week, my goal was just to lounge around, chat with my sister's best friend Lavinia, and also hang out with her husband. One of the things I did when I was in Windisch was I did the Legionnaire Tour.
Soon Aulus Vettius Priscus will appear. 2,000 years ago, he was in command of the Legion,
where you pretty much followed an ancient Roman tour around the city, and I thought that was pretty neat. As I went along the city, it was kind of like an Easter egg hunt where you're like looking for clues and then you go to the next spot and then the next spot, and it was pretty neat, and I would say it's a nice thing to do while you are already in Windisch. Another thing that you can do when you are doing the Legionnaire's tour is right beside it there is a church with nicely designed glass pane windows, so you can check that out as well if you are already in the area. The highlight of my trip to Switzerland has got to be when Lavinia's husband took us on a road trip to Lake Lucerne. I thought that was a really cool trip to go to the Swiss Alps, check out the mountain. He flew his drone there, I took a lot of videos, took lots of pictures, and it was just a really pleasant time. The one thing I didn't like though was the prices. Switzerland is expensive. I remember he ordered a salad and it was like $30 for one measly salad. So Switzerland is definitely not a cheap place to travel. I do recommend that if you go to Switzerland, I think the Eurail pass is actually useful here because then you can take the train everywhere and really see the country. Accommodation can be similar to Western prices like in the United States if you stay near the airport. So you do have those options. Hostels are quite pricey though. You will be expected to pay about $50 per night in Canadian dollars if you want to stay in a hostel in Switzerland. At some point during my European trip, I was in and out of Switzerland, and at some point I also stayed at Geneva, which is the French side of Switzerland, and I did like the French side. Geneva was a pretty nice city. So overall, Switzerland is a decent place to travel to, but if you are Asian, do keep in mind that there is a lot of racism that you can experience, especially coming from the older generation of Swiss people. The younger Swiss people are actually really nice and they speak really good English, while the older folks in Switzerland, I found that they didn't speak much English at all, and a lot of them were not friendly, or they can be condescending towards Asian tourists. Anyways, that's about it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments below, and don't forget to sign up to the Travel and Live Free newsletter where you can get a 10-step cheat sheet on how to travel around the world. You'll also get the latest tips and strategies on how to save money on travel for Canadians, how to go on a round-the-world adventure travel for Canadians, and how to use travel to get more freedom in your life as a Canadian. You could sign up for the newsletter in the description below. Until next time, I'll see you then.